One idea could be a public holiday API server. This MCP server could connect to a public API that provides a list of holidays for a specific country or region. Claude could then use this to check if an event falls on a holiday or to plan around them. Another option could be a local business directory server. This MCP could query an API like Yelp or Google Places to find nearby restaurants, cafes, or venues that might be suitable for Makers Lounge events or just for general information. Or we could go with a currency exchange rate server. If Makers Lounge ever considers international events or needs to deal with different currencies, Claude could use this MCP to get real-time exchange rates. Do any of those spark your interest, or do you have a different kind of external service in mind?
No, I think all three of those are really good ideas. Do you have any suggestions on specific ones we should go for? Probably one that's going to be the least prohibitive in terms of access and the most accessible one.
That's a great point about accessibility. Considering ease of access and minimal setup, I'd lean towards the public holiday API. Many public holiday APIs are quite straightforward to use, often requiring no API key for basic queries or offering very generous free tiers. This means you can usually get started quickly without worrying about complex authentication or rate limits right away. It also ties in nicely with your event planning theme for the SDK server. How does a public holiday API sound for our HTTP MCP server example?
Yeah, I think the public holiday API is a good one to go with.
Excellent. The public holiday API it is. To set up an HTTP MCP server, you'll again use your mcp.json file. This time, instead of specifying a command to run a local program, you'll tell it the type base as HTTP or SSE and provide a URL. Here's what a basic configuration for an HTTP server might look like in your pod.mcp.json. JSON the MCP servers. Holiday API type HTTP URL HTTPS API example.com holidays MCP headers XAPI key holiday API key. In this example, holiday API is the name. The types is set to HTTP, and the URL would be the endpoint where your actual holiday API server is running. Notice the headers section where you can include an API key, which is a common requirement for external APIs. You can pull this from an environment variable, just like with the SDK server. Does this configuration for an HTTP server make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Sorry, I'm just running npm install and npm start for the agent that we built. And then once it is ready and it's started, then I'm going to go to the local host and we're actually going to see this agent running in action. And then I'm going to ask npm run agent what hackathons are coming up. I'm also going to actually look at our events and see the Makers Lounge events coming on. So we have AI Agents Workshop on February 15th. We have monthly Makers Meetup on March 8th. We have Spring Hackathon on April 19th.